We're climbing the holy mountain upwards to Jha'rell's glory. This week on The Hapless Heroes.
Telepathetically.
Hello and welcome back to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave and I will be your host and dungeon master for this evening. And we're going to start this evening the way we start all great evenings here by introing our cast because I literally know no other way. Well, there are two ways I could go left, but today I'm going to go right, starting on my right with Francesco as the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom.
Onwards, my mighty steed.
To his right, the mighty steed, John as Lord Jha'rell the Light.
I could have sworn I'd be a god by now.
To his right, we have Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Still no pandas.
To her right, we have Zach as Pregnart.
Hello, I want to meet a new friend.
To his right, we have Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
So much climbing!
And to his right, we have James as Hoblet the Smasher.
Good evening, friendos.
And as we left off, we were ascending towards ascension. But in a more immediate sense, we are approaching what appears to be some sort of small village. A collection of some thatched roof cottages, all, very nice looking, but off in the distance. No wall around this town. Doesn't appear that there's any real fortification or security, nor any specific need for them. So we've got the party and a village several miles off in the distance, walking towards their fate.
I think I'm in a sort of like a hop/canter. Pregnart, that is.
Yes.
Tongue wagging.
Very good for you.
But of course.
We've seen nothing on the way in other than just grass and coming up to this village.
Yes.
No birds, we've seen nothing.
No birds so far, but speaking of winged creatures, the first distinct beings you see patrolling the high grass around this village seem to be, they look like lions at first glimpse, except they also have wings.
Are they griffins?
They
That's
are
what
not.
They're called griffins, yeah.
Are they bipedal?
No, they are quadrupeds.
Okay.
Bipedal. Do they appear menacing at all?
I mean, it looks like a
They're just like walking
lion
about
with eagle wings strapped to it. It's still, they're still a ways out. I don't think they've noticed you yet. Or maybe they have and just assess no threat.
Let's hope it's the latter.
Some big lion birds up there, boys.
Those are
Boys
so much
and
better than
Big boy- big
pandas.
girl crew.
I'm gonna laugh if the inhabitants of this village are panda people.
That's what I was also secretly hoping for.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna continue.
We're continuing on to approach the village.
Yeah,
right?
unless anything actually starts to look like it's going to try to kill us, we're gonna assume that we're where we belong right now.
Yes.
Do any of us recognize what these creatures are?
You might need to make some sort of religion check to find that sort of thing out.
Okay.
Divining
Hopefully
the
I won't roll.
the inhabitants of this
Yeah.
plane.
I have a 18.
18. Yes, there is some description of them. They're called Lamasu. And they have the head and body of a lion, the wings of an eagle, but the face of a man. They generally are about 8 feet or so long, weigh about 500 pounds. They're pretty beefy. They are spellcasters. They're absolutely terrifying in a fight, and they are sort of the peacekeepers of this plane.
But I am aware that they are sentient and intelligent and
Yes.
not to be fucked with.
Yeah, pretty much.
Badass.
They're badass, but they won't fuck with you unless someone does the fucking first.
How far away are we from the nearest of these creatures?
We are now maybe about... Yeah. Well, you're about 2 miles from the village, so at least a mile and some change from any of these. They're sort of patrolling in the grass around the village. You can see them a ways off, far enough where the more eagle-eyed among you would be able to, pick them out pretty easily, But they're also huge, so it's not hard to see them from far.
Got it. So like a mile. And what is like the layout of this? We're just outside the village, or we're within the village now?
No, you're still a couple of miles from the village, but on your way up. You'll be there in a few minutes. Well, maybe about, let's say if you're walking a 12-minute mile, you'll be there in about a half hour.
Okay. Are we going to do... I don't think we're doing anything between now and... We're just walking towards the village, right? Do we see any...
Yes.
It's just us up trail to the village, and then the village, I think... It's safe to assume we're doing nothing but traveling to the village.
Unless someone is saying differently.
No, as we're approaching, Hoblet's going to make sure to get up close to Boris and just be like, it's not to be fucked about with them around. No funny business.
But I want to ride one.
You know I do too.
Oh, come on, Hoblet.
Listen, the rest of them won't tolerate it.
You're
On the way
right that
back?
we won't.
Perhaps.
Oh, Felix is listening to us. We'll talk about this later.
No, I feel like I would have made sure to, get off there, get off to the side or whatever.
Where else are you gonna go? I
don't feel
I'm
like
3 feet tall, so I would walk slow. So I'm behind. You're riding on Jha'rell's back. You're at the front of the pack, flying like a fucking eagle. I got 1.5 foot long legs. We're going to swim up 10,000 fucking steps and through a portal. My legs hurt.
But you have no indoor voice, so.
None.
So here we are.
Yeah. As you get closer to the village, something significantly smaller but no less wondrous, you see floating around orbs of light, soft and glowing, as bright as a torch, from about 1 to 3 feet in diameter, variously floating around, maybe about 3 to 4 feet above the ground, just milling around the village. You also see what appear to be some larger, more humanoid creatures in the village. Many of them wear sort of light brown linen cloaks with cowled hoods above their heads.
Pragnar is trying to catch one of these orbs now.
Like a firefly? Do you just pull a jar and start trying to
stuff it in?
4-foot orb?
Yes.
A 4-foot orb?
Listen, it's a 5
No
foot jar. Okay.
No
1
jar,
to 3
but
feet
he's trying
in
to jump up to
diameter,
one, and
they are.
he's trying to jump up to one and just touch it or kiss it.
as you get closer, within conversational distance and make your run up to try to grab/hug, it sort of bobs gently out of your way. Hello.
Hello. What is it? You can talk it. Do you have a name?
Does Jha'rell know what these next two creatures are?
Well, Jha'rell, this would be one sort of final religion check on this sort of thing, if you would.
Yeah, because as much as I want to interrupt, I really want to hear how this conversation plays out.
So do I. I just want to know if I should warn Paradil not Paradil, or not. 17.
17, yes. These are the glowing lights are lantern archons. They are the lowest sort of rank of spirits that inhabit this plane. They would be sort of the souls of the more recently deceased who have ascended to this plane and are trying to find their own ascension.
And then the cloaked figures, what would those be?
The cloaked figures, you could assume, might be archons a little higher up in the hierarchy.
Okay.
Those are generally the only inhabitants of at least this part of the plane. And sort of going back to Pregnart, I don't believe I've ever seen your like in this place.
I'm Pregnart.
Hello, Pregnart. Welcome.
Do you have a
Mount
name?
Celestia.
What are you? I don't know. What you a glowing ball? I see you in dreams sometimes, but I don't know what you are.
I am, like all here, a pilgrim upon the path to ascension.
Oh, I love ascension. We saw a mountain. We're climbing it. Ascension is my favorite.
Do you climb this mountain physically or spiritually?
It is physical.
That is a valid path in the idiom of this place.
Do you want the dragonfly souffle?
And Pregnart pulls out one of the souffles. It's kind of crumbled by now. He's not really hopping with much much of a mind for preserving the physical integrity of his cuisine.
The
He
lantern
holds it in
archon.
outstretched hand.
The lantern archon bobs about, quizzically perhaps, although it's difficult to tell without so much as a face to show expression or emotion.
Pregnant is a little worried.
I very much appreciate the gesture and your generosity. It speaks so highly of you. I, however, am unable to partake, as I feel I may be missing something.
At least it have a
Digestive
smell.
system?
It smell good.
The smell pales in comparison to the warmth of your generosity. I appreciate the gesture.
That's good, because I am told I do not smell so good.
Mr. Lantern person, pleasure to meet you. I'm Felix, and I'm still talking from Jha'rell's shoulders, like I haven't climbed down. Yeah. You mentioned something about climbing this mountain spiritually. Would you might be able to, and forgive the pun here, shed some light on that?
The Archon bobs for a moment in front of Jha'rell. I sense two voices, but The voice higher up seems it's difficult to perceive, like fragmented. Perhaps you belong here. No, it almost bobs down a little bit more in front of Jha'rell. Noble aspirant, what is it that you bring?
Jha'rell kind of like turns his head towards Felix, like giving him kind of like the stink eye. I am not quite certain which part of him you're referring to.
This one, as it bobs a little higher, is not what it appears to be at all. Simultaneously both greater and lesser than its own self. Obviously worthy of being here, lest the plane would have destroyed him. Curious. You, on the other hand, sort of bobbing back towards Jha'rell, are exactly as you appear to be, but you are not an Archon. We never see such as. You'll pardon, I'm struck almost inarticulate by the rarity of this. It's been so many ages since we've seen. Mortal, that's the word. How could this be?
Jha'rell was looking so proud of himself until he said the word mortal. I have been sent here by the great Lord Lady Valen to ascend myself.
Lady Valen?
The Lord Lady.
The Lady Valen herself has sent you on this path to ascension. Oh, that is a noble cause indeed.
Jha'rell nods giddily, and I hope that you will guide us on our path.
I'm unsure. I'm unsure that this one is quite right to guide you, but there may be others in this town who can help. Seek one of the Hound Archons. They should be able to guide you with more clarity.
Do I know which of the creatures he's referring to by Hound Archon?
Those would be the next level up. A Hound Archon is at least described in some of the deeper cut texts that you've read as having the body of a person, but the head of a canid, like a dog or a wolf. If they were to travel to the prime material plane, which is an incredibly rare sight indeed, they would be fully in hound form. But in this, they sort of appear as a person with the head of a dog.
Okay.
So is this where dogs go when dogs go to heaven?
Yep, then you become a lion man with wings.
Wait, what? No, wait.
Right?
But that doesn't make any sense, because that's like a different, like...
There's all kinds of crazy animal combinations going on up here. Some weird shit on this plane. Some weird shit indeed.
How close to us now is one of the hooded figures?
There are several milling about in the village. You met this Lantern Archon maybe 100 yards outside what the gates would be if this village had gates at all.
Sure.
Okay, well, before we go, thank you, Archon of Light thing, for your wisdom. Pregnard, you have to say goodbye to your new friend.
Bye. I love you.
I bid you farewell into the safest of journeys, and know that we have love for you as well, noble traveler.
Thank you. I call you Marvin now.
Pregnart
Marvin.
absolutely belongs here.
That is a good name. I will call myself Marvin. I thank you, Pregnart.
You're welcome, Marvin. Bye-bye.
God, you're too wholesome. It's like
I'm so glad you're back.
I love Pregnart.
Pregnart.
find me one person who doesn't love Pregnart. I would like to speak to them and tell them that they are wrong.
If you don't love Pregnart, give us a shout out on. Just join our Discord. And we can duke it out there, ideologically and creatively.
Anyways, I'm gonna turn to Jha'rell for a second. I'm gonna get off of his shoulders, and I'd be like, "Hey, Jha'rell, listen, I know you and I don't always see eye to eye, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that maybe I'm gonna say that maybe you just do the talking while we're here. I'm already concerned enough for my well-being, and it's very obvious that there's a part of me that doesn't belong here, and we can all guess and make inferences as to what that is. So, would you mind just, vouching for me, bud?
I shall try, but I won't be surprised if your head bursts into flame at any minute.
I mean, yeah, but if we could, actively prevent that from happening, I would be very appreciative.
I'm not sure I have the power to stop it, but good luck.
Oh, good. Yep, thanks.
I can bring you back to life if you do explode, I think. Maybe?
I'll take the maybe. Yep.
Remember,
Anyways, let's go
don't worry, you have no need to be afraid.
Yes. No, again, I'm not afraid, Jha'rell. I'm just concerned.
So yeah, Jha'rell will, I guess, lead the group up to one of the hooded figures.
Wolfhounds.
Yeah.
One of the hooded figures, yes.
I think it's pronounced hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure our listeners knew that too.
Right.
Yes.
Hood.
Someone please say something to them.
All right.
Listen,
So I'm waiting for Dave to tell me that I walked up to one of them first.
All right, yes. In fact, the Lantern Archon, known as Marvin, leads you to the village.
Perfect.
Boris starts
And-
blowing up a piece of bubble gum while we're walking.
Marvin bobs ahead luminously, luxuriantly, and approaches one of the hooded figures. Archon, I bring news of pilgrims coming through this town. Most unusual pilgrims. Come quickly.
hey, come look at the freaks.
The hooded figure, standing maybe about 6'5", maybe even a little taller than that, quite broad of shoulder, turns, pushes his hood back, showing what appears to be some sort of somewhat wolfish head. Maybe a little husky, but,
Oh, I was hoping for golden retrievers.
there might be some of them here too, but, the scientists are all labs. But I digress. This now no longer hooded figure approaches. Hello, travelers. What is it that brings
Jha'rell-
you here?
Jha'rell will put his hand to his chest and bow and say, greetings, Archon. This other Archon, who is now named Marvin, informed us that you may be able to assist me. I have been tasked by Lady Valen to ascend, and I'm not quite sure the path.
So these creatures have wolf heads, human bodies.
And they're super tall, apparently, too.
Right, and you are making him sound like he's talking like a dude, like he's just talking. Okay.
Yes.
Is his face face like just going wah 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 and like the sounds coming out, or are his like lips moving like a weird? Is weird dog lips moving?
Like
when you
put peanut butter in the dog's mouth.
Right, or is it just like kind of emanating out of him, and he's like his face isn't
right?
Yes,
that's what I mean.
yes.
This is important information. We need to know what we're dealing with.
Look, they speak both celestial, infernal, draconic, and common. So their lips would be able to pronounce all of those words.
So it's
looks
Mr.
a little jank,
weird.
but
His
it
dog
works.
lips are going weird. Yeah, his dog lips are doing things dog lips shouldn't do.
Correct.
Actually, the way I'm imagining
my dog.
The way I'm imagining it is like, oh wait, maybe am I conflating these two beings? Which one has dog lips?
The ones with the dog heads.
Right.
In the
hooded figures.
The hooded
yeah.
figures.
Yeah, the humanoid ones.
Yeah. It's Babe. It's like Babe.
I feel like my dogs tried to talk to me before, and I was like, that's just what it looks like when he's talking, but he's using real words.
Yeah, but I feel like these are like hyper intelligent, hyper spiritual beings.
Does that help, James?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who could communicate telepathically if they wanted to.
Telepathetically.
Telepathetically is the best way I've ever heard that said.
They're communicating telepathetically.
That mouth looks like it could talk. That's true. If Terry Crews was a dog.
So if Terry Crews was cosplaying as a dog Hellboy without the horns.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Sweet Jesus.
Okay, so I've introduced myself to this one and told it what I
Well,
needed.
you haven't introduced yourself, at least not your name or anything, just that
You started
what you're
to.
doing, yeah.
Sure.
Wait, you say Lady Valen herself sent you?
Indeed, I am Lord Jha'rell the Light, Paladin of
Yeah, no.
Valen.
As soon as your name escapes your lips, his eyes widen visibly. What in the name of fate? Come with me.
Jha'rell again looks so proud of himself.
Excuse me, Mr.
I thought
Mr.
you weren't talking, Felix, and Jha'rell will put his finger like right.
You're right. I'll be all right. I just have a small question for our dog friend.
That's still talking though.
He's also not a dog.
I'm not a
Divine
dog.
being.
I can see where you think that way. We have a lot to go over, so let's make it quick before we retreat maybe somewhere indoors and away from prying.
Of course. I just have one quick question. Are you familiar with the paladin Randalitha Ardaban?
Vaguely
Paladin of
so.
Torm.
Fell on the fields of noble battle many ages ago.
Oh yeah, so you would say that, they would probably have been seen or thought of in high regard, yes?
The highest.
Okay, thanks.
Oh,
You're so fucking
why?
petty. You're so fucking petty.
Jha'rell will ask. Then why? I was certain. Why was it buried in? She buried. Well, I don't know if it was a male or a female, so I was trying to be. But
We're looking for his they.
I don't know.
They is the proper pronoun, not
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Trying to not be
That was
offensive and somehow dug that hole
Not that.
deeper.
Yep, I tend to do that. Why were they buried in such an unceremonious place then?
It's entirely possible you may have slightly misunderstood, but that is not even top 10 in the most important things going on right now. Come with me, please. And he leads you towards a hut at the far side of the village.
That was the appropriate response from our
not even the
celestial
top
friend.
10.
Yeah, that was that was the most appropriate response from our celestial friend because I'm just trying to be petty.
And Felix.
I wrote down the name for a reason. I had to make sure that I called
Right.
back to it at some point.
All right, so we're in your hut, dude.
Yeah.
We circle.
So
What's
yes,
going on here?
after a quick walk around the way, the Archon lights a small fire in the fire pit in the middle of his dwelling. Paladin Jha'rell, may I see your blade?
Jha'rell will present the blade, and he still has the helmet too, if it would like to see the helmet.
Just with the blade first.
Yep.
You see a tear stream down one of his cheeks. It's been so long. Paladin Jha'rell, I knew you were worthy. It's so good to see you again.
Again. I don't believe I've ever been here before.
Hard pressed that you would have. I had only just recently come to this place. You may remember me as Joseph the Just.
Jha'rell just lights up. I have honored your legacy. I have your sword. It's done wondrous deeds.
No, Jha'rell. Sword is just a sword. You've done the wondrous deeds with it.
Jha'rell is so proud of
Does
himself.
me so proud. It does me so proud that you've come this far. We have a farther way to go yet ahead, and very little time to do it, if I understand correctly.
Sounds correct.
Introduce me to the rest of your traveling companions.
Surely you remember Felix, and who else was there? Quinn? I believe it was Quinn. Was Quinn there when we brought the sandwich back?
The
The shawarma.
I know I was in and out of that.
Mhm.
Quinn was in and out of that.
I don't think I
Hoblet
was.
was. Yeah, so it's just.
It's just me?
I think it's just Felix. I think it is just you.
Yeah, I remember learning about him, but I don't think
Right.
I was there.
Hoblet, were you there for that? Did
I
you
was
actually
not.
meet him? Yeah, I
Nope.
didn't think so either. And
You
then he
come
will,
back shortly after.
Right, very shortly after.
and then he will introduce, of course, the cleric, Hoblet the Smasher, Lord, Captain, and Dean, Quinn Southwind, son of the mighty Caesar Southwind, Baroness of Riverford.
As you turn to Boris, instead of actually seeing Boris, what you see is like a 2-foot bubble, like a giant, like it's blocking her head. And Boris introduces herself as, "Hi, I'm Lantern Archon Boris." Bobs the bubblegum a little bit.
Is this the bubblegum
And-
cigar that she's using to do this?
Right. Yes, a massive
Oh
bubble
my
gum.
god.
And not to forget, of course, one of my favorite creatures in all of existence, Mr. Pregnant.
Hi, it's me. I'm pregnant. Can I name you too?
Archon Joseph makes his way around, looking at Hoblet first. Son of Clangadin Silverbeard. We very seldom see your sort here. This is more the domain of Moradin. Well met and welcome.
I'm not sure that he likes hearing that it's not a Clangadin hotbed. So he just kind of nods. The ever appreciative.
Somehow surprised that the followers of Clangat and Silverbeard don't end up here often.
Right. What did we ever do wrong?
You just have your own in heaven somewhere else. We saw it. There was that big fortress.
Yeah.
remember?
Hell.
Well, there's
The
also
other-
more of a... No. There are realms of chaotic good.
Okay.
This is a realm of lawful good. This is a very, you would consider this more, like Moradin's heaven is a little more stodgy than you might prefer yourself.
A little bit stick up the rear.
Yeah, it's more of a showers twice a month as opposed to showers every other month kind of deal.
Who's got the water or the time to do that? Twice a month.
He moves along to Quinn. Son of Caesar. Well met and welcome.
It is an honor to be here.
Moving over towards Boris. Baroness, so young yet so old at the same time. Welcome to this humble realm.
Thank you.
Keep that spirit, child. You'll need it for the days ahead. He hovers over towards Felix. I feel we've met before. I've heard your name. I feel that I've met you, but you're so hazy and indistinct. Broken up, almost. Like you're several different people at once.
I get that a lot. Especially been hearing that a lot since I got here. There is a bit of a complication when it comes to me. Not sure if that makes it on the list of important things we need to talk about, but it might need to be.
You're hazy, almost indistinct spiritually. Obviously, you belong here, else you would not be here.
Yeah, I hear that a lot too.
I will not question the wisdom of this plane. And then he turns towards Pregnart. I've never seen your sort before.
I get that a lot. Usually the people that say, "What is that?"
No, not your outward appearance, your inward appearance.
It's
Looks to the rest of the group. You're blessed indeed. This man is a creature of pure love. Wherever wondrous
Pregnart
place
goes in
did
for a
you
hug.
find him? And Archon Joseph readily returns the hug.
Stop!
hug.
It's too cute.
I'm gonna roll for hugging ability.
I feel like it has to be a charisma roll. It has to.
I was
be
gonna say
charisma
auto
roll.
succeed.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a charisma. Please roll it at advantage.
Oh, okay. Charisma. That's a 20.
Yeah, it's one of
Would it be
that's a
animal
good like
handling?
top 20 hug in history. It's
Aw.
good. There are I don't mean like it's good as it's better than bad. It's good in that good versus evil sort of way. Whereas it's pure and virtuous and everything that this realm stands for.
Yeah.
I was gonna say never.
Pregnart hugging Lord was it Paladin Joseph the Just is one of like the like there's just too much good in that connection there.
Do we start glowing a little bit? Do we like levitate just the slightest amount?
I mean, this whole place glows, but yes, there is an extra light and warmth in this place now.
And levitation.
Very slightly, as though you both feel slightly lighter for the experience.
Oh, that's sweet. I like that. I like that a lot.
Oh, we have places to go and not much time to do it. Ascension is no mean thing in this place. Generally, it takes ages, eons even, to ascend from one realm of this plane to the next. You yourselves find yourself on the second level.
How many levels
God.
are there?
They call this
Yeah.
place Mercuria, the Golden Heaven. The noblest of fighters and warriors are interred here, as you have already seen. But also, this is a place where lesser archons like ourselves prove ourselves on our way up the mountain, as it were. The next level, Venya, the Pearly Heaven, is mostly inhabited by halflings of all people, so noble and pure of heart and spirit. Our destination, however, I fear will be the 4th level, Selenia, the Crystal Heaven. To my knowledge, Lady Valen has holed herself up in Erakinor, formerly the abode of the god Moradin. From there, she marshals the defenses of this plane against all intruders and invaders. There exist further planes of the 7 heavens beyond that, but few get there, and seldom do any return, as they would have no need nor want to. It seems that there's a quest of ascension in line for all of us.
Hi. So, theoretically, if a being were to, or maybe even an artifact or item of most unholy import were to be brought to this plane, what would happen to it?
This is a realm of pure good. Evil cannot survive here in that sort of way. It would be destroyed outright.
Okay. Another theoretical question. What if such evil was somehow embedded into the flesh of someone who did belong here?
Hypothetically.
I don't know, and I don't think I want to find out, to be perfectly honest.
Okay. Theoretically, what if you didn't have a choice and you were going to find out either way?
What's the idiom you mortals use? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay. Cool. If this were happening to a person that you knew and liked, would you try to help them?
I'm not sure there's any remedy that would be available to one such as myself.
I think the more important question here is, if we were standing on that bridge right now, would you want to know?
I find your questioning somewhat concerning and troubling.
Okay. Well, just needed to see where we all stood before I mention,
Apparently
that-
upon a precarious bridge, but if it's all the same, I think we need to keep walking.
Yes, we can walk and talk. I can definitely explain this plight to you as we ascend. Very much so.
So Jha'rell still has the helmet of Valen, correct?
I mean, I'm going to assume that you didn't miss it.
Yeah. So if I put it on right now, can I talk to Valen from here?
DM Dave knows that there's no barriers in the way. He also understands that I don't want you subverting the story quite so easily.
So no, you can't.
No,
You
why
could just-
not?
okay,
Let's,
okay.
you want to
I was gonna say I could.
slap the damn helmet on. Let's see what happens.
Okay, so Jha'rell puts on the helmet, and Valen, I believe I'm near. I'm almost to where you quested me to go.
Lord Jha'rell, so near yet so far. You've only just begun the steps on your journey.
Now, Jha'rell's communication with her is telepathic, right?
Yes, and for the first time in a long time, the line is crystal clear.
He will ask her because it's telepathic. If Felix happened to have a incredibly desecrated item in his forehead right now, currently, would you want that in front of you or no?
All laws of this realm would require that he be purged with extreme prejudice immediately. Are you telling me what I think you're telling me?
Yes.
The rest of the party sees the eyes of, or right in the space where the eyes on that helmet would be, light up a bright, piercing gold. And Jha'rell, you feel yourself literally shunted to the back of your own mind, where you are now currently a passenger. The voice of Valen comes from the mouth of Jha'rell. What have you brought into my realm?
Okay, so brought is a strong term. More like forced by choice to carry.
Do not prevaricate with me, you shifty little shit. What have you brought into my realm?
So after some research, his Felix shrinks even lower than he could possibly go, even being 2.5 feet tall. Says, from my research, it said it was the third eye of Vecna. Oh.
I don't think that Jha'rell's no fear zone applies currently.
I feel like Boris and I are literally just running around each other, trying to hide behind each other.
Jha'rell, what is being applied to the rest of these people, but very specifically, sharply, and pointedly directed at Felix, is a thing so far beyond terror that you're shooting a squirt gun at a towering inferno right now. This is no longer fear, but like the second and third derivative of fear.
Extreme existential dread for what's about to happen to him.
Yeah,
Fear velocity,
the wrath of a
fear
literal
acceleration.
god.
My fucking forehead.
My poor forehead.
The eyes of Valen sweep the room as she points with Jha'rell's left arm at Felix's head. Get that, she pans around, thing out of my realm.
What am I supposed to do? It's kind of stuck to my forehead.
I didn't ask you to say one further thing, Shifter.
This is the stuff of my nightmares. This is everything that I fucking hate.
I would like to clarify that Jha'rell does have the spell Banishment equipped.
Jha'rell, you can clarify purely to yourself.
I'm not in control of it.
And a pregnant pause
Pregnant.
diffuses through the room as Valen's eyes sweep across all of you in equal but slow measure clockwise, and then back counterclockwise along the room.
Pregnart has like more of flippers than paws.
Missed you.
Anyway, sorry.
I am infinite. My patience is not.
Talk about a Pregnart flipper.
I know I'm not allowed any more questions, but I don't really know how to get it out of your realm.
Pregnart tries to eat it.
No, don't.
Yeah, don't.
I already tried. I already said it.
It's stuck to my forehead and it's covered by a bandana, and I don't let you near it. And I yell at you, don't touch it.
Okay.
Lady Valen looks at you as you are stopped partway. I appreciate the hustle, but perhaps something a little more well thought out. Archon Joseph. Yes, my lady. In 24 hours, if they've not found a way to rid this realm of that thing, execute the shifter. The rest of you, I give 24 hours. Get that out of this realm. Lord Jha'rell, your ascension is on hold until such a time. The eyes go out, and the helm goes silent.
Felix starts nervously laughing. So I say, let's make a plan. Hey, friends.
That's where we're going to call this episode. Sometimes you know the line to leave it on. That's the one. We're leaving it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, dear listeners, if you like us, hell, if you can tolerate us after that, we can be found on the internet. We're in such places as Reddit/r/Hapless Heroes Podcast. If you search Facebook for Hapless Heroes Podcast, you'll find us there. We are also both on Twitter and the Gram at Hapless Heroes. Each one of those places will take you to the crown jewel of our internet presence, our Discord server, where you can interact with us and probably berate the hell out of me for that absolute show that I just put you all through. And I don't apologize at all, because I stand firm that that's the episode you, as our audience, for better or worse, deserved. Take it in the best way possible. I probably meant it that way. God, that sounds super harsh. Maybe I should cut that last part out. Or not. Whatever.
No, it sounds
Edit
great.
as you see
I think
fit.
that's definitely on brand.
Yeah. Now, if you really like us, you can leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. If you've made it this deep into this podcast, and let's level with y'all. We're 5 years deep. This is damn deep. So if you're at this point in the podcast, you've almost certainly settled on a podcast service, conveyance, way of getting it into yourself. And if that website, RSS feed, whatever it is, gives you an opportunity to leave a review, leave us a review. We love 5-star reviews, but any honest review will do, and we will read it on air. That way we can recognize you as the 5-star human being that you are. But if you really, really like us, you could donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/Hapless Heroes, where we have a variety of membership levels from, at the bottom, a shiny roll on our Discord server, a little bit more a month, and you get access to our patrons-only lounge channel, where we do all our posting with our pinkies in the air and with a very bougie attitude towards D&D. I'm not sure how one does that, but we're doing it in there, and you should join us there. There's further reward tiers beyond that if you feel so inclined to give. Our donations through Patreon fund our hosting costs and our other equipment and ongoing costs that we generate here. So we very much do appreciate you keeping us in business here, in the business of telling you guys this story that we've sunk 5 years of our blood, sweat, and vomit into. We appreciate you, every one of you. We love you, and thank you for coming along on this journey.
I think I threw up at least once during recording this. Oh no, Dave did. I remember the episode where Dave threw up mid episode.
Yeah, that was a thing. Oh God, I'm so embarrassed.
No, it was perfect, because now what you just said makes sense.
It is absolutely 100% true.
Yeah, it is.
And that's the effort, and that's the quality work that we put into this into each and every episode of this podcast.
Because we do it for you.
Am I up?
You were someone like you.
If I'm up, I need to tell you, our beloved audience, that if you like us, right now you like us, Sally Field, and the whole deal, begin to study dark magic and go to such lengths that you can go to a supermarket and put a curse on a can of Italian wedding soup, and whoever buys, opens, and eats that soup will, every Monday at 8 a.m., hear the newest episode of our podcast.
It's doable.
I think that's easy.
That's quite the viral marketing campaign right there. Just some dark magic on Italian wedding soup. Specifically, we only want people, new listeners, who would be the kind that are inclined to buy and cook and eat Italian wedding soup.
I think what he's looking for is people who wouldn't normally listen to us, but would ingest Italian wedding soup.
Therefore, creating the crossover. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm assuming those people like to talk. So, word of mouth advertising.
What do you mean, those people?
I feel like it is literally
you
the
know
equivalent
what I
of
mean.
Jalapeno delivered by soup.
People who like little tiny meatballs. They love to talk.
Soup is the best soup.
There's two of them in your podcast of those
Cursed
people.
Soup. Cursed Soup is
All
the
right.
name of my new band, I think.
It sounds
Tiny meatball.
It sounds
Cursed
wonderful. And if you want to go listen to Cursed Soup opening up for Sally Field and the whole deal on this summer's tour, then whatever, I'm outroing everybody. Starting on my right, we have the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom, played by Francesco.
This is the worst day of my life.
To his right, we have Lord Jha'rell the Light, played by John.
Until next time.
To his right, we have Boris the Butcher, played by Nicole.
I'm sure that was all a part of Felix's plan.
To her right, we have Pregnart, played by Zach.
You know, on that point, I think I'm going to say we'll smell that armpit when we lift it.
To his right, playing Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind, we have Mike.
I am not hiding behind Boris. I am just simply shifting my weight.
To his right, we have Hoblet the Smasher, played by James.
Oh, I hope this little man comes up with a plan.
My name is Dave. I've been your host and Dungeon Master this evening. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Goodbye, maybe forever.
Bye.
We'll pop that pimple when it's prom night.
I can't right now.